Yeah, people don't really realize that, man. Biggie did not see himself rapping at 30 years of age. You know, he was just happy to get 30 G's a show. That to now you get that just for an appearance. But now, people wouldn't that just shows you how much the rap game has changed from the end of the 90s to like where we are now. That was like 20 years ago. People getting $100,000 just for an appearance at a nightclub. And back then, to be able to do 30 G's a show to selling out of venues, it just took hip hop grew to and just went to a whole nother plateau. Then when the corporate world just started raping it and taking it apart and destroyed the factions of it, the wheels fell off. But Biggie was planning to get out of the game a lot earlier than people expected. If they thought Biggie was going to be making like 10 albums or even 5, that was not his plans at all. Big, y'all don't really realize it. Big wrote so many albums, like the first Little Kim album, he wrote that. The Junior Mafia album, he wrote that. So it's like you really got a lot of Big doing work. Not to mention the songs, the remixes. He was just making his money off remixes. Big plan was to make the Commission album. After making that album, he was gonna make one more solo album, and then he was out. That was it. Is him as a solo artist making albums. He wanted to be done, and he discussed this with Puff and told him like, "Man, I'm not gonna be no 30-year-old rapper, man, with some 22-year-old making me look ridiculous. This is not gonna happen." And Puff was like, "Yeah, that's you talking now, man. I'm telling you." While you got the crown, you know what I'm saying? You got to do your thing because there's somebody else coming. You ain't going to want that. And then he was like, no doubt, right now. Yeah, because I'm the king of New York. So to Big, that was his, he wanted that spot, but he loved to be in the background making raps and just writing for people. He'd rather do that than to be out there just rhyming and going on the tours. He wanted to just sit back and chill. So that was his direction, and he was working towards. Now the Commission album, he wanted Jay-Z to blow and had him and have a label and had these people under him and had that pushed. And from that point on, they can go from there. But Big was ahead of his time. He had a couple movie roles on the table. Like at this moment in time, I can't recall what they were, but he had 2 movie roles that he was gonna make an appearance in. That ended up going to certain 2 other people ended up getting them. But yeah, there was some big movies, at the time. So it was good that Big career was finna go into another plateau on both sides because the West Coast, the thing is they love Big. They had no problems not to like Biggie. They loved his music. They used to play Biggie and them on the radio all the time in LA. Cause Puffy and the music was like, man, it's fun. It's why everybody against their music. The music was fun. It was about dancing and having a good time. And Pac came out and kind of interrupted that party. And people wanted to party and dance, but they were too terrified to play the records. Some of the people like, man, we want to play y'all records out here, but we can't. Only certain radio stations can. We feeling heavy pressure to just play Death Row music. So, and that estimation, I mean, that's just it. It's nothing else really to discuss. Nothing else really to discuss on that note, because shoot, that's just it. That's it. That's all. But I'd have loved to gotten more Biggie songs and albums, production. I mean, who wouldn't? Let me leave. Everybody's blowing me up right now.